Hi everyone, happy Friday. We're back with another 24-hour challenge for you guys. Now, you may recall that we had attempted the 24-hour challenge once before and it had not gone well, so we're giving it another try. This is actually a piece from our own home. This is the dresser in our daughter's bedroom. Now, we had attempted to flip this ourselves over 10 years ago now, so she's in rough shape. And honestly, it had not been done very well to begin with. Our paintbrushes had not been the best. We'd been painting late at night with poor lighting. Overall, it just hadn't been the best, so it was due for another makeover. We headed out in the pouring rain to get some supplies from the Home Depot. And while we were there, we actually ended up encountering a somewhat unexpected shopper. This little pigeon was just going up and down the aisles, not afraid of anyone, just looking for some grain. Just shopping like the rest of us. And then we headed home to get started. So the top of this dresser was actually a laminate and it had been covered with a stick-on wallpaper. So we had to kind of remove all the adhesive underneath and then we could get started exposing the wood on the sides here. There were a lot of layers to get through, 2 layers of paint, a layer of primer, plus the original varnish. So it definitely looked worse before it looked better. Turns out we'd done a little bit too good of a job covering it up the last time, but once we stripped everything, we sanded it nice and smooth. Julian was actually outside sanding the drawer fronts while I was cleaning up over here. And this was the moment that we realized we were going to have to reuse the original hardware because they were imprinted on these drawer fronts. Now, we are actually doing a dipped look on this dresser, which is why we're only exposing the wood on a top portion here. The rest of the drawers and the rest of the dresser would be painted. So here I was just kind of prepping to get started for paint. This is our paint choice and top coat. And I sanded the drawer fronts down with 220 grit sandpaper and then gave it a really good clean. Julian applied the top coat to our exposed wood here. And here I was starting to paint. When I'm painting with this paintbrush, I really aim to do long angled brush strokes because it gives you the smoothest finish. I'm always impressed with Fusion mineral paint because it covers so well. Like, this is just my first coat and you can see how well it's covering that dark paint underneath. I would still end up doing 2 coats of this though. So this was about 17 hours into our 24-hour challenge and I was ready to start painting the rest of our piece. I did sand and prep before this off camera and then got started painting. I am painting a little bit inside the frames here, you may notice. This is just so that once the drawers are in, there's no exposed wood showing in between there and you get that nice uniform look. So one trick I like to use is to tap my tape in with a little bit of paint here so you get really that crisp line. And still going in with my nice long angled brush strokes as much as possible. So this was 2 hours later. We were ready for our second coat of paint. And this part is my favorite. Removing the tape is so satisfying and you can really see that nice crisp line right there. So a technique that I had seen online several times to clean old hardware was to boil it with half vinegar, half water for about 25 minutes, and then just clean it really well with a scrubby pad or a brush of some sort. It did work pretty well. They turned out very nice looking. So just a reminder that this was our before, and now here is our after. Overall, this piece was not perfect, but it was just a piece for ourselves. We weren't going to sell this one, and we had flipped it in just 24 hours, so we were quite happy with it. It looked a lot better than it had before. And we like to think that Maya likes it too. So thanks for watching, and we have more coming your way. Our next flip is going to be our first attempt at flipping an entire dining room set, so make sure to check back soon for that.